Hiya, Martin from Dartana Plants. Thought I'd introduce you to our little cider orchard we've got. Um, it's about 20 trees in total. All of them are local to Cornwall. They're all different varieties because we set the orchard up so that basically we could have a bit of fun, get a few people around, do some mashing, do some pressing, make a bit of scrumpy, um, and go from there. However, the trees, particularly this year, are producing so many apples now. It's become more of a chore, and it's quite hard work because you've got to pick the apples, which is fine, or get them off the ground as they fall. You've then got to cut them all up by hand. You then put them into a masher, which is a silver doobie with teeth down the bottom, and you've got to mash all the bits and pieces up, and then that makes a pulp. And then you take the pulp and put it onto the press that we've little press that we made up, and we press that, and that produces the cider. Now, a couple of years ago, we produced, I think, about 70 litres, and it took 5 or 6 hours, and it's pretty full on all the way through. But what we thought we would do this year, because we've got some friends that we know, they have something called Polbathic cider. So all of our apples have been transported there, as you can see on our little short videos. They've got the same sort of setup, but the press is bigger. It's manual, as most of the smaller presses are. But instead of cutting up, they have a scratter, which is basically like a bark chipper, but quite small. Now, we could have got a scratter ourselves for here, but they're just so expensive. If it was £150, you wouldn't mind, but these are like £1,500 to £2,000. They are a lot of money. So anyway, we've donated our apples there because not only have they got kit that makes it easier to do, that we get involved with, and we do, so we pick the apples still, take them over there, and we get all the whole making process, if you like. But also they have got a really good setup where they make proper cider. They store it properly, they add the right chemicals, they know really what they're doing. Everything can be pressurized and everything like that, and so they really know how to make really good cider. And our apples this year have been put into a particular bucket, see what they're going to be tasting like in about 12 months time when they're ready. But anyway, this is our orchard. I'll take you for a quick fast forward walk around. Well, as you can see, we've got about 20 or so trees. All of them are different. So, oops, we've still got these left, and we've already produced, just from our own apples, about 200 litres of cider, which is a lot of cider. I think if we strip the rest of the trees down, we might well have another 100 litres here. So equating that, we could be doing 300 litres, 600 pints of cider just from these 20 odd trees, which is quite a bit. And one that we can think of, but to be perfectly honest, the only problem is if you think to yourself you want to go commercial and try to sell a little bit to local places and stuff like that, you've got to have quite a nice setup, and it does take a bit of investment. And quite frankly, we did it just as a bit of fun, get together with a few friends and have a bit of a laugh, which is always the case. And now with the guys at Polbathic, we're able to continue to do that. They get the benefit of our apples. We get a good few tasters from them, and it's all done really nicely. So quite frankly, it is a win-win. Um, the smell of these apples is incredible, and as you can see, they're all different. So you've got a small here. I don't know the name of it, unfortunately. The variety. We've got red up here. There you go. I've got the red. These are quite small apples, but we've got larger apples as well. Just to give you a bit of an example. There you go. So all different. Now the red ones tend to be nice and sweet. And what we do when we're overdoing the press, as the juice is coming off the press, we do take a few litres away, and we have that as probably the nicest fruit juice you'll ever taste. It is fantastic. And that's basically it. Martin from Dartana's Plants, signing off. Right, so that's the cider orchard. Now let's look at what we produced this weekend. That's the fruit juice. Now, it doesn't look hugely appealing because it is dark, but that is the idea. The darker, really, really good. Beautifully sweet. This is just taken from the press, literally as the juice is running out. There's nothing at all added, no sugar, nothing at all. This pure cider apple juice. That is banging. No alcohol, nothing. After 12 months, this little monkey's produced. Beautifully clear, lovely smell to it. Not strong chemically cider smell. Very, very natural, beautiful. Small bit of fizz to it, nothing hugely, but got a really lovely appley taste to it as it goes down. Percentage wise, probably I think it's about 4.6%. They do or we have tasted one of their brews which is about 7%, which is how it's actually comes out of the barrel. This is watered down, so you water it down to the lower percentage amount. The stronger stuff is frighteningly nice and just frightening, really. Anyway, that's all the juices. Bon voyage.